Welcome back to the Dice Tower.
Hello.
I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Zee Garcia. What's up?
And I'm Sam Healey. What's down?
Today we are talking to those amongst you who are rich, or
I forgot my monocle.
We have
or
ideas.
Or those of you who wish you were rich. That's because when a game is popular, or sometimes even when it's not popular, they will make a deluxe version of it. Sometimes these deluxe versions are very pricey. War of the Ring comes to mind. I believe you can buy the deluxe War of the Ring now for over $1,000 on eBay.
Woo! Sign me up.
Yeah.
Pennies are saved.
But even when it came out, it was like $600. They did a deluxe version of Settlers of Catan. This year, a deluxe version of Ticket to Ride is coming out. Puerto Rico, popular games. Then they do games like Tokaido and Takinoko, which are both... Takinoko got a deluxe edition. Tokaido's getting one this year. They've done different deluxe versions, and so what we're doing here is we are telling you games we wish someone would make a deluxe version of. Is that the best way to put it?
Yeah.
We have no inside information. We are not saying these games are going to have a deluxe edition. Wouldn't that be like the ultimate rumor thing?
Awesome. I know. Ooh, did you hear? I know my list sort of breaks down into two types of games, and that is games that I think already have very nice editions, and I put them on the list because I think an amazing edition would be great, and games which the edition that exists is not so great, and I want a good one. You know what I mean? Like, not necessarily like a wham-bam one, but just a good one.
Yeah.
I think the game could be bigger and better.
A non-chintzy version.
Right.
Yeah.
So there'll be, both in there. Did you guys pick games that were basically already...
This was really a difficult list for me to make. I mean, I only got 10 games because most of the... I'm big on the whole aesthetic, eye candy part of games. So most of my favorite games are already games that are pretty accessorized up.
Agreed.
I mean, they've got really nice models. They've got nice artwork. They've got all that good stuff. So I had to look for games that, I don't know, I felt like I was really stretching, and I don't know. Most of my improvements are, well, you'll see what they are.
I agree.
It was really hard for me to make it.
Yeah, same here. Absolutely.
Well, let me ask you this: what deluxe games do you have? Do you have any?
No.
You don't have the Takinoko?
No.
You don't have any either. I have...
They're too expensive.
Yeah, I have Takinoko, and I'm going to get Small World, and I probably will get the Ticket to Ride. Oh, I have Puerto Rico. I guess that's deluxe. And then I'm going to probably get the Ticket to Ride one. That one looks really good. And it doesn't look that expensive either.
Right.
Oh, that's $100 for a Ticket to Ride, man.
Well, yeah, but it'd be like, cool stuff would be like 60. So, or 70, So that's within reason.
Right.
But like War of the Ring, I never even considered it. I got the Settlers of Catan one, but I gave that to the Dice Tower convention because it feels like that's a better place for it.
You didn't buy that though. That was.
Oh, I never would have. Someone gave that to me.
Yeah, that was Tom. Who?
One of the
guys.
Spiel des Jahres judges gave it to me.
Yeah, you. So I mean, purchasing one of these things is like board gamer opulence almost.
Right.
It's just way up there. Well, hey, shoe fits, bro. I'm just saying.
Okay. Let's get started. Let's talk about other people's spending.
Wait.
Oh.
How did you arrange yours? Because I arranged mine in a kind of a weird way.
As you do every time.
The one I would want the most is number one.
Really? The one you want the most? That's what he did too, I think.
Yeah, I mean the one I would most feel that if it came out and I saw it, I'd be like, ooh, that's pricey, but I want it.
I think if any of these things come out, I'm going to want it. I don't think there's a list. The way I did it was
alphabetical.
No, no, I did it. 10 was most likely to be done. and one is like pipe dream, never going to happen. But it would be very cool if it did.
So Sam is saying his number 10 is gonna happen.
No, I'm not saying that.
2015.
If
10 through 7, 2015.
If it could easily be done right now, is kind of what I'm saying.
Okay.
But number 1 is like,
No.
yeah, not gonna work.
I need to invent a new plastic for that. Yes.
All right, let's get into it and see what we're talking about.
Number 10.
All right, my number 10 is a game that I play a lot, and it has a little. I actually had to conglomerize 2 games to make my accessorized version of this game up. Okay. The old version that I used to match with the new version was Diamant. And I matched it with Ink and Gold.
Oh, you did the mashup?
Yeah, I used the old little crate treasure boxes from Diamant, and I put that into my new version of Ink and Gold.
You don't like the paper folded 10s? What's wrong with you?
Everyone likes paper folded 10s.
No, they don't.
You get a card and you break it in half.
No, listen, the new ones actually are they fold out. They're actually like a paper 10. They're not a folded card.
Oh, really?
The folded card was that was the worst.
That's the one I had. I stopped using them.
Anyway, can I continue with...
You brought it up.
I'm just saying. Anyway, what I was thinking was it could have like, you know how you have, you as you're going through the thing, you get a certain number of jewels, and you can't actually put it underneath your tent or in your box until you actually leave the thing. I was thinking have like a treasure chest that has like a trap door where you like push a button on the side. When you actually come out, it goes.
What if you have to give them back?
And then it hides.
No, he's saying once you
leave,
come out.
Once you come out, you just.
Once you run, you keep your jewels.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought that would be cool. That would be cool. Treasure chest like that. And then I was thinking of see, where is it? Here it is. Artifact minis. Instead of just having cards, you actually have miniatures of each artifact that are like painted. Of course, has to be painted. And then I was also thinking that you could also have, instead of 2 cards of going in, going out, because I mean you can only have 2 cards. You try to shuffle them, you look like an idiot shuffling 2 cards. Anyway,
I just never go out.
have tokens.
Oh, okay.
Have tokens instead of cards. Have, and one could be like a pickaxe. That means you're going further in, and then the other one could be like a, I don't know, something.
You put a lot more thought into this than I put into mine.
Okay.
So anyway,
so we're supposed
Ink
to
and
be
Gold.
giving...
Ink and Gold, my number 10, man. I think it can be pimped out real easy.
I was just gonna say
the name and maybe one thing they could improve.
Okay, so I put more thought into mine.
All right, my number 10 is an older game, Aladdin's Dragons. It's a game that's a blind bidding type game where you put tokens on a board and you go to the dungeons, to the caves of the dragons to get little jewels, different treasures, and then you trade those treasures in for artifacts. And it already has a pretty cool production of the little chiclets and the little treasures, but I think they could like up the value of those treasures. I think make them look really cool.
Yeah.
I think there could be like little plastic dragons that guard the things, and I think that the little people you put out could be actual little workers that you put out with numbers on the base of them. That's a pipe dream, but that's a game I'd like to see.
So number 1, pipe dream, got it.
Number 10, Aladdin's Dragons.
Organize this list wrong. All right, my number 10 is the only card game on here, which
thanks.
Makes sense because it's a card game. But it's a card game that comes in a really tiny box, and that's Pocket Rockets, which is an Antoine Boza design in a really tiny little box. And I think it's a great game. Does not get enough attention at all. And the cards, some of the cards in the game actually make what basically is a board. So I think the game could be put out with a little board that has those places printed on it. Better cards, bigger cards, nicer quality. I could see that game just growing a little bit and making not what you'd say is like a Stop Traffic Deluxe version, but a really nice version of it. Because right now it just sort of gets lost in the shuffle because it's so tiny. The cards are not the best quality. You have to build the board yourself. I think that one is one I would pick up in a heartbeat if it came out with a really nice version of that card game. So my number 10, Pocket Rockets.
Number 9.
All right, my number 9 is kind of a almost I want the reprint, and that's in a sense. My number 9 is Dungeon Twister. Now, Dungeon Twister came out in a thin box that once you had it, one expansion was bursting at the seams. They came out with Dungeon Twister 2, Prison, which had plastic figures and a box that supposedly held everything, but didn't make sense on how they held it. Asmodee was going through a period of making box inserts which were unexplicable. Okay, but anyhow. That was a neat idea, and I was like, oh, we like to see all the old stuff done and with these miniatures, because, if I have a miniature here and you have a cardboard stand-up, you can make your argument for cardboard stand-ups, and you can make your argument for miniatures, but they should not mix. That's a no. We do not allow that in the same game. And it just is weird, so I was like, they need to do a big deluxe version of the original Dungeon Twister with the first 3 expansions, with miniatures and all the cool stuff, and it hasn't happened. It should happen. That's why it's on my list.
I thought they already had a deluxe version that they take around to cons and stuff like that, and they have tournaments and.
They might, but Tom wants to put it on the shelf, baby.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's already in existence.
Well,
they just need to package it and sell it.
Well, there's one thing about having a guy make one miniature for you, then do it mass market.
Right.
I did not pick any of these. Some of the games, maybe there is mega cool versions out there at conventions. I deliberately ignore the existence of those.
Yeah, that's one. They made one amazing, probably like extra large set of it.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some really cool ones in the past. Shadows over Camelot with a castle. It was really cool, but you know.
Okay.
So anyway, my number 9 is Dungeon Twister.
All right, my number 9 is a racing game, which I think could be really cool if they tricked it out and made it kind of like they did with Settlers, where the terrain was 3D, and that's Snowtails. I like Snowtails a lot, but I think it would be really cool if the terrain was 3D, so that you could have hills and valleys, and you could have really cool little sleds that fit into the spot, so that you could leave it going uphill right before a jump. Huh?
Artificial snow.
Oh yeah, smoke coming.
It makes a room cooler when you open it.
Oh, that's amazing! This is the new technology we were talking about. And I think it would just look really cool. Have like terrain, 3D absolutely. Terrain. Have the bits be really cool and tricked out. I don't know. I think that would be an awesome one to set up, and people would gravitate towards that. Right now, it's a great game. It's plain looking. It's good. It's a great quality, but. That's one that I think would look amazing with some cool terrain. So, my number 9, Snowtails.
Cool. All right, my number 9 is a game that I think could be done right now, especially with the heavy hitters that own the rights to this license. I think if they really wanted to, and I think there's a demand out there for it. Well, I don't know about demand, maybe a desire. I don't know.
We can't help because we don't know the name.
Star Wars Queen's Gambit.
Oh.
They can make a deluxe version of this right now.
Wasn't that version of it pretty deluxe anyway? I mean, they can't get much better.
Sure they can. Better plastic, pre-painted miniatures. I mean, we're talking HeroScape type miniatures, and
for the low price of $700.
I mean, well, come on. I mean, we're talking we're talking level of War of the Ring and that type of stuff. It's going to be pricey. I mean, we're kind of putting the price aside. We're just kind of
absolutely.
This is what we would like to see. This is a dream. So, Star Wars Queen's Gambit, and really the only thing I had here was just pre-painted minis all around. I mean, think about it. You have your pre-painted Gungan army and your pre-painted droid army and your pre-painted droids in the castle and the Queen's Guard and the Queen and then the lightsaber battle going on. I mean, come on. That's just awesomeness waiting to be made.
And they should have a little talking Jar Jar Binks. That'd be good.
Okay, you killed it, bro. Killed it, bro.
All right, Misa wants to go to number 8.
Wow.
All right, my number 8 might show up on someone else's list. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say yeah. We'll see what happens. My number 8 is Betrayal at House on the Hill. Betrayal at House on the Hill already had an original printing, which was pretty bad. It had a second printing, which was about the same.
The same or worse.
Yeah, and I think it could really benefit from great tiles, great, bigger, well-painted, well-made miniatures, just everything can get souped up in this game. The little player boards with the little sliding things are awful. You never can keep track of where your character was at, the stats. That needs to be revamped and worked. That would look great, and if it's, everything could be sort of expanded a little bit, made cooler. I'm not talking 3D terrain because it wouldn't work, really, because you're drawing tiles, but...
Yeah, I wonder what this tile is.
Yeah,
it's really tall.
This must be the elevator. But just a souped-up version of that, I would be over that. Just good-looking miniatures. And another thing that you don't have is when you finally get to the big baddie and reveal that, then that thing, if it's represented on the board, it's like a cardboard token. And everybody else has their little miniature. It's not great, but it's a miniature. If all the main baddies had a cool figure, that would be stunning, So that's my number 8, Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Well, spoiler alert, it's not on my list because I think the game needs to be improved first. It's not that it's a bad game, it's just not... It needs a lot of work.
And that's going to happen for the Deluxe Edition.
Oh, so it's a better game and Deluxe. Okay.
Come on, man. Deluxe.
All right, my number 8 is a game that I also play a lot, and I'd love to see a tricked out copy of it. King of Tokyo. I'd love to see monster minis instead of the cardboard stand-ups.
Okay.
I'd love to see monster-specific dice.
Yeah, but now you're changing the game, though.
No.
Each player having their own dice.
Each monster has their own
If
dice.
they sold either of those things, let's say they sold the miniatures, a set of miniatures, I guarantee you, I would not be able to control myself and I would buy them.
Not me. They're barely used. I mean...
You wouldn't buy them?
I would.
I wouldn't even hesitate.
I would probably have to buy one at a time, but I would.
$15 each.
I'd buy the Panda first because that's what I always play.
Right.
I'd buy Panda Kai first, and then
it's the king.
Everything
The
else.
king is the best.
Everything else would fall in line. But miniatures for all the monsters is a necessity, and monster-specific dice. Each monster has their own color, their own...
That would be cool.
They have their own paw print, different paws.
for the attack, the different kind of attack.
That's kind of neat.
Whatever
Different
would
fonts
be.
for the numbers, maybe.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, I think that would
I'll
be
get the dice. I'll get the dice.
great thing. Yeah, you're gonna do the dice. All right, good. I think it would be an awesome thing. These guys are jerks.
How am I jerk? I got your back on this.
Laughing at me.
He's the jerk.
I will get those dice. Those dice sound good.
Stop laughing at me.
The monsters you can keep, but they're barely used. But different
Okay.
dice.
They are barely used, but again, we're talking
So
about
if
dreams.
this
here.
does come out with monsters, if it happens, and I think there's a chance, then we get them, and when he plays with us, he can use a cardboard stand-up.
Exactly.
Can I play, guys?
Exactly.
Get out of here, freshman.
My number 8 is one of the ones I struggled because I thought it was pretty good already as it was, but it needs a lot of work, and that's Age of Empires 3 or whatever the current title of it is. Age of Empires 3 is a really cool game with a lot of cool pieces, but a deluxe version where you could actually tell some of the pieces apart, because some of the guys look very similar, where the map actually fits in the board a little bit better.
Has an actual score track.
Right. And just, make everything look nicer. This stuff already looks nice. Maybe paint the ships a little or wash them at least, like they did with Kemet with those things. Yeah. I'm not asking for a super, not every miniature has to be painted because there's a lot of them. But just maybe make the models a little bit bigger, throw the expansion in automatically, make the tiles look cooler. They look a little bland as it is right now. I mean, I really think a fresh overlook, and this game would sell probably.
That's a good one. That one didn't even, I forgot about it, but that's a good idea. That one I'm right on. I'm on board.
See, we feel the same because I feel like I miss King of Tokyo. I should have said that one.
No.
So, all right.
Number 7.
All right, my number 7 is actually an abstract, and this version is fine. The one that exists. I just think it would be even better if they came out with a better quality one. So this is one of those. This is the Duke, and the Duke I really like. I think it's a great game. It's got those cool wooden tiles. I just think I would like it better if they came up with like an amazing plastic Bakelite piece edition, kind of like Hive. Went from the wooden pieces in the first version many years ago to the Bakelite one now. I think I would love to see the Duke done that way, with white and black tiles, with the indented painting on it, the symbology. Just, nice click to them. It's just a great souped up edition of that. I would be all over it. Because I like the game a lot, but the wooden tiles have the grain makes them sometimes, look different from one another, and so the army doesn't look quite as congruent as I'd like, and sometimes the darker pieces versus the lighter pieces aren't quite as different as I'd want. They almost blend into each other a little bit. Mm-hmm. So, nice plastic edition, I'm there. The Duke is my number 7.
I'm feeling like that's kind of a weak entry. Because the Duke is really nice looking.
Yeah.
I mean, really nice. I like backlight pieces, but those wooden pieces are really nice.
I don't know. I think I would like that.
So you want to go from really good wood pieces to backlight, but you wouldn't want to go from stand-up counters to miniatures.
No, I'm not saying it wouldn't be amazing to have them. I just didn't feel they were necessary because they do nothing or represent like one spot
Tokyo,
on the board.
They come out of Tokyo.
Oh, shut
Or
up.
They could be holographics.
Yeah, they actually attack.
They actually fight.
Now we're talking.
Never. Always. What was it? Let the Wookiee win. All right. My number 7 is also a race game.
They need to have a Wookiee character in King of Tokyo.
Ooh, a giant Wookiee.
A giant Wookiee.
Anyway, my number 7 is also a racing game, but it's not the Snowtails. It's just Formula D. I like Formula D. It has a lot of cool racetracks. They did a really great job upgrading it from Formula Day. But I think it's just one of those games that there could be a deluxe version. This deluxe version would come with 6 tracks in a slide-out case. You open them up, boom, 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 boom,
right.
And the cars would all be painted in very different-looking cars. And the gears things would already be there, and you would have to move them around. And it would have something, I don't know what, that would be better than pegs.
Holographic monsters. Always better than pegs. Somebody put that on a shirt. Holographic monsters, always better than pegs.
No one's going to put that on a shirt. That doesn't even make any sense.
Hey, the Dice Tower.
All right, anyway, so my number 7 is
cool.
Formula D because it's a racing game a lot of people play, and I think a deluxe version, I think people would actually buy it.
I think the problem with that is if the cars are any bigger than they are now, it has to come with its own table, too.
I'm not saying the cars need to be bigger. I understand that. I'm just saying I think a nice set with a bunch of tracks in it.
That sounds
Make
good.
the displays cooler. Paint the cars, even though they're small.
Yeah.
You can make the track a little bit bigger so the cars can be bigger.
Well, like you said, if you make the track too much bigger, you're driving on a different
They're
table.
They're pretty big.
But it's deluxe, so let's make it bigger.
Yeah.
Each car is like this big.
Yeah. I'm going to the living room now. Okay, my number. What were we on? 7? My number 7 is also a racing game, but it is a game that I've talked about almost. I'm almost ashamed of how much I talk about this game. Yeah. Jamaica.
Is it Jamaica?
It is.
What? You're starting to shoehorn that in on every list.
But no. This is not a shoehorn. I think this would be really cool. We're talking metal coins for the gold.
Okay.
We're talking real treasure chests for all those spots instead of just the little tokens.
Okay.
We're talking larger painted ships that are even made out of wood instead of that ceramic-y type stuff that chips real easy. No, it's nice, but
I'd prefer them to be made out of backlight.
Oh wow, listen to this guy.
I'm just saying.
But anyway, I just think that the artwork's already phenomenal, so I don't think that much has to be done there, but I think the components that you play with and it would just benefit the whole game. I think it would just make the game that much better.
It should come in a treasure chest. A wooden treasure chest.
Yeah, that would be cool.
See, I thought about it, and then I almost as quickly discounted it because it's such a great addition already.
It is already, yeah.
It's like amazing looking,
right.
But it's probably because I wasn't able to pinpoint what could be improved.
Have little cannons.
But all the different things you're saying, I'm like, yeah, I'm on board.
Have little cannons and then little, food pieces instead of the...
Like actual food.
No, that would be too messy. I thought about
back
that.
and forth.
I actually had the thought, and it was like, ooh, no, that's stupid.
I would never win. Where's your food, Vasel?
Your ship can't move now. My sailors are
anyway, my number 7, Jamaica. And I think all the people that own Jamaica and really enjoy it would go out and buy this, and then they would sell their older copies of Jamaica, which means there's more copies of Jamaica to go around.
So Sam is actually proposing an economic solution.
That is right.
And next, holographic monsters.
Number 6.
All right, number 6 for me is an older game. Zee already picked Betrayal House on a Hill. From the same company, I'm going to pick Vegas Showdown. Vegas Showdown is a game that's a lot of fun, and the components are chintzy.
C-Rap.
The poker chips are okay. The paper boards, come on, paper boards.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the game is very fun, and you should play it if you get a chance, but this game needs a makeover.
In a huge way.
Yeah, they need a team of people to come in, and then we pull the truck away, and there's the new game of Vegas Showdown. You know, it's
Move that bus!
right. Vegas Showdown's so much better. They could come with a little. They could find a company that made those old wheels for life, and find some way to put a spinning wheel in the game. I don't know what that would do. But you have all these little pieces. You're right, there's no luck in the game actually, really. But they have all these pieces moving around. They can make the tiles really cool.
But you do adjust the prices, so you could have that be what adjusts the prices.
Oh, that would be cool. Zee's so much smarter than that.
All right, that's cool. Instead of moving that little token,
Yeah.
like the wheels turn one
Yeah,
way.
right? And it's all underneath the board, but there's like holes in the board to let you see all the different prices.
That's pretty cool.
Make this happen!
That's amazing.
That's Hasbro, won't happen. But still, that would be a game I'd like to see a deluxe version of.
That's cool. All right, my number 6. Now this is one that actually, as I was going through the list, I was like, that could actually happen. Might seem a little bit lame though, but I think it would be actually kind of cool to see it. But Power Grid have an electronic light up board wherever you power the city. There's fiber optics underneath the board that actually glow your color. I think that would be actually kind of cool.
Well, for the low price of $2,000.
Hey, I'm just saying it could happen. Now,
amazing,
again, I'm just saying it's a crazy.
I'm value because you put so much more thought into yours.
Also, you could have like the when you're driving down the highway, you see those big power towers that are holding those lines as you go down the highway. Have different colors of
Transformers?
Yeah, no. The big, huge towers that just carry the line
Okay.
across vast open areas. You know the
Gotcha.
Yeah,
the
we know
steel
what
girder thingies. They have those as colored pieces,
Oh, that's
player
cool.
pieces,
That's
and
cool.
stuff like that. I don't know. I
like
think
that.
Power Grid would. Again, this is one of those things where I think it already has a pretty good set of components. I mean, they were
okay.
wooden. They're okay.
They're okay. A little
But I
house,
mean-
whatever. I think what you're saying is better, the little towers.
Yeah, I think the towers are
Yeah,
pretty
cool player
idea.
bits like plastic, maybe nicely molded.
But I
instead
just
of
thought I
standard
thought the
wood house.
fiber optic board would be pretty cool. Fiber optics is actually kind of on the low end of technology right now. I mean, it's being used for those stupid things at Spencer's, the little wire thingies.
Yeah, weird little hairy thing
and
that
it
lights up.
changes colors and all. I mean, if you can use it for that, you can use it for a board game. I mean, those things are what, $15 or something? I don't go to Spencer's anymore.
All right.
I don't know.
So Power
I
Grid.
thought it would be really cool with the whole electronic theme, the electricity theme, to have a light up board.
Cool.
Right.
Power plant, like if it's cold, it actually shoots up a little
Yeah, a little.
while you're playing, you know?
Oh, there's a little fan spinning on the board right now.
Good stuff, man.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, speaking of crazy ideas, no, that's an awful segue. My number 6 is also Vegas Showdown.
Really?
Hey.
Yes, it is.
Whoa, that's twice.
Because of everything Tom said. Done.
Yes.
Number 5.
All right, my number 5. Now this is where it really kind of gets into.
Never Neverland.
Yeah, it's probably not gonna happen.
I don't think any of the other ones we said are gonna happen, but go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody sitting in a room anywhere going, ooh, fiber optics, powered
Well, okay,
radio.
Power Grid maybe started that whole section, but I really think Jamaica, King of Tokyo, Star Wars, Queen's Gambit, Ink and Gold, it could all be made right now. It just has to have There has to be a market there.
And licensing for Queen's Gambit.
Yeah,
but yes.
Well, I mean, come on, Star Wars. Star Wars. Who doesn't have that license right now? It seems like.
I don't. But all right, go ahead.
Just Lucas is just sitting there going, "Hey, who's next? Who's next?" Anyway,
Okay, go.
Anyway, my number 5 is wasabi, but wasabi instead of the tiles for all the ingredients.
It's gonna be gross.
No, it's not gonna be gross.
Real sushi.
It's gonna be almost. It's gonna be like stackable ingredients that are like molded to fit on top of each other.
Right.
So that when you're done making your part of that menu, it actually looks like you have a piece of sushi sitting in front of you.
Right.
And it has, the little things that have the little pegs sticking out of the bottom so it fits into the top one.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it's not a burger, it's sushi. How do you stack it?
Dude, have you never eaten sushi? That's how they make it. They stack it on top of each other.
Before rolling it?
Seriously, it's not all rolled. Are you
So it
serious?
has to be all not rolls.
Oh, come on, dude. What's wrong with you?
That's why it's impossible, man.
It's not impossible. It can happen. What do you mean?
Retheme
No, it doesn't have to
to
be
a burger
rethemed.
theme.
No, it doesn't have to be rethemed. That's the American version of wasabi.
Instead of wasabi, call it mustard.
Bubba.
Mustard. Go. What's
Okay,
yours?
it was
He probably has sushi.
anyway.
He probably has it on his
Yeah, he
list.
probably has a sushi go on it.
All right, my number 5 is Ghost Stories.
It's pretty cool already, though.
It is, but again, it's one of those that I think would be amazing if each player. I really don't like the player pieces. They're like just that one color molded
they're all
plastic,
the
and they're all
same.
the same.
All
I think if
same
you had
mold.
like nice bigger models, each in a different pose, really tricked out and painted, that'd be cool. And then have the ghosts, the haunters or whatever, have those be really cool. Just have bigger tiles. You could trick that out. The player boards, each player's board could be tricked out. Made cooler. Maybe throw some fiber optics in there. I don't know. Something really cool. Ghost Stories.
I'm gonna kill him.
Is one that they keep tricking out these Antoine Boza games, and Ghost Stories would probably be the one that if they did, I'd be like, okay, I'm getting it. Because I just love that game that much,
Cool.
Akenoko's a great game, but I'm not shelling out, $300 for it.
Yeah, for a job.
I would maybe give $100
All right.
for Ghost Stories. My number 5.
My number 5 is a game that as soon as I played it, I thought, wow, I want to play a deluxe version. Because the game already looks deluxe, and that's Steam Park. Steam Park looks deluxe. It has these rides that you put together out of cardboard. You play them a couple times and you realize they're not deluxe. They look deluxe because they're falling apart a little bit. And
Right.
I would love one that just had plastic rides and had a. I think you could really trick that game out for the deluxe edition. I mean, come on, if they're doing Tokaido, they could do Steam Park.
Yeah.
Anyway, I really like Steam Park a lot. It's a super fun family game, and I think a deluxe version that costs like $100 because it has a bunch of plastic in it. I think that's one I would be interested in getting.
Yeah.
So that's my number 5, Steam Park.
Number 4.
All right, my number 4 is one that I will probably get a lot of support from because both of these guys are enamored with this game.
Ooh.
Frequently reaching the number 1 or 2, 3 position of their lists many, many different times. But that is Cosmic Encounter.
I've heard of it.
Cosmic Encounter. We're talking different ship molds for each color, painted, pre-painted.
Okay.
We're also talking about miniatures for each race.
Oh. This is again in that King of
It's a
Tokyo
pipe
thing.
dream, man.
Okay, I'm kind of into that.
Hologram.
That's
I'm on board with holograms for this one because they store easily. You press a little button on your
And they go
power raise
away.
and then you go.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, just play it on a computer, guys.
But
Okay,
I think
Shut up.
but at the very least, I think different ship molds for each color would be cool. So that each I don't know, to me that's one of my biggest gripes about the game. You just have a bunch of discs stacked up, and I think it would be cooler if they looked different. Each different player had their
Right.
own looking ship. And pre-painted, of course, is a major.
I guess I discounted this one instantly because I really like the current version of it.
But your
okay, but
your copy has been.
No, someone painted my
bit.
shits, right. But let's say I played another one at a store a couple weeks ago with people and it wasn't painted. And I thought, oh yeah, the ships aren't painted. But it didn't bother me.
Did it sicken you?
Different.
He's like, oh.
Okay.
No.
I'm not playing with this unpainted.
But what I meant was, I thought about it, like, as I was going through my games, I thought, what else would I upgrade? Painted ships, I guess, but...
The planets could all have different... Each planet could be a different kind of planet, a different looking planet, instead of the same one.
I guess,
just a
but
different
it's just...
shade of
I don't know
color.
that would make me like the game more. I don't know how to explain it. I think the game is so fun, and that stuff there is kind of just a means to having the fun.
Well, I guess so.
Well, it's
Yeah, I
fine.
thought about it and also couldn't come up with enough juicy stuff to add. But hey, Deluxe, I'm in.
But my number 4 needs to have a deluxe version, or needs to have a decent version, and that's 7 Ages. Now this one is one that this will never happen. But 7 Ages is a great civilization game, which you go throughout the world. You get a bunch of cards, and these cards are everything. Like you can play it as a civilization, or it has a wonder of the world on it,
Right.
or it has a leader on it, and so you use all these different cards at various points. But let's say you want to add a pyramid. Let's say you built the Great Pyramids. You then get to go through this giant pile of double-sided counters that have wonders of the world on some side, leaders on other sides, you know, and that's like, woo!
Wow.
It's the pain, and the map is a giant paper map, and the components are all small, and the cards aren't that good quality. It's really fun. So for me, a deluxe version of this one would just be GMT reprinting the thing. You know, give me a mounted board, give me tiles that I can see. You know, so that's 7 Ages.
It's funny that you said mounted board with GMT. They used to not be known for that.
No, they're right. They weren't, but they have
funny.
been making a lot more mounted ones lately.
Yeah.
All right, my number 4 is the second and last abstract on this list. The first one was the Duke, which I mentioned has great pieces already, and
If you
I
say
wanted to
hive and you wish it had wooden pieces, I'm gonna get really irritated.
go back to wood. The Duke didn't need it. This game needs it. And this game is called Kamon, or Common, I believe it's pronounced. It's Kamon. Common.
Come on!
Come on in. And this is a Bruno Catala game, which is made from the board is rolled up, I guess, leather, and the pieces are foam pieces. It's made from Hactalea is the company that makes it. The game is great. The quality is strange. And I would be all over a mounted board, not just like the cloth one that you roll up, and again, wooden pieces, real nice wooden pieces. The game is excellent. It's sort of one of those games like Kamisado where you force your opponent what to play next, you know what I mean? And it's a mind bender, it's really meaty, I love it. But it needs a good version desperately. So, my number 4, probably little known, but a great game, Common.
Number 3.
All right, my number 3. Easy choice for me here, even though Sam doesn't like the game as much as I do, and that's Flashpoint Fire Rescue. I think it'd be great to have 3-dimensional board, where you can move it around and put the couch here and have little 3-dimensional fire pieces and see the fire spread. They already have miniatures for the firemen, although they're like cutesy miniatures. I would have preferred. It's kind of weird. You have these cutesy miniatures, and then you look at the pictures of the firemen, and they're like GW models, and like
Yeah, they're very realistic.
we're about to go in the fire.
Games Workshop models.
Oh well, no, the GQ. Sorry, yeah, Games Workshop models would be up with all this Space Marine armor.
The cannon mounted on the shoulder. Let's fight fire with fire
For the Emperor.
It's a water cannon.
Okay, but anyway, no, but they look like models. The miniatures look like
everyone's
cartoon
gorgeous.
figures, and it's like.
Everybody got airbrushed. Yeah.
Anyhow, I like the game a lot, and I think it's cool. But sometimes you look at the board like, what is that? I think a 3D one, and you can move the rooms around, make your own layout.
Plus, didn't they come out with an expansion that was supposed to be a 2-story house or something?
Right.
That'd be awesome if you could actually have 2 stories. Could you imagine that?
Come on, now you have to admit that. You would think that was cool.
How would you move your things around on the inside though, with like chopsticks?
Dude, like I don't know, like 4 pillars. You get in there.
Yeah, which was built so that you could move things around that way.
Well, that's what he's saying. Do the same thing.
Yeah, but a whole house though. The palace was like one corridor.
You're a hater.
No, I'm not a hater.
Thin house.
I'm not a hater.
Anyway, my number 3 is Flashpoint Fire
trying
Rescue.
to
Very
throw
cool.
some fire.
Very cool.
Throw some water on your fire. That's all.
That was
Clever.
Okay, me. My number 3 is a game that already has an addition, which is stunning, but it could be better. Cleopatra and the Society of Architects.
What? Come on.
Has really cool.
Are you kidding?
How in
Yeah.
the world are you gonna?
Dude, the pieces are unpainted.
I thought about this one.
First of all, the board is like the bottom of the box flipped over. Okay? No. Come on now. Give it to me in like the queen's chest or something and open that puppy up and the board comes out of that. And then all the making myself laugh. All the plastic pieces can be painted. I mean, make it look like aged. You know what I mean? The sphinxes and all that can be tricked out. I mean, you have the characters that sit on the garden or whatever. You know, the little plastic bits can be big and beautiful and painted. This game would look stunning. I mean, the game looks good, but you throw some paint on that game. Everything has that plastic, sort of.
Okay, yeah, it does look like a box of plastic.
You give it a nice base that makes like the castle where you put the walls around it, right? Make that a beautiful base already, and then paint all that plastic. Even those 2 changes, you're talking deluxe version. That's the epitome of deluxe version.
I actually like that you actually use the bottom of the box as part of the game board.
Yeah, me too.
I really thought that was a good idea.
Think about tricking that out. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're saying that's not acceptable in the deluxe game.
Right. It needs to be even better than that, you know? It's got to be
Remember
gorgeous.
back when we used to play on the back of the box?
Come on now. Now you press a button, it opens up.
Alright. What's your number 3?
All right, my number 3 is actually a game that's already been mentioned by Mr. Vasel, and that is Age of Empires 3. And I actually went a little bit further. He said,
of course you did.
He said, include the expansion. I said, have country-specific miniatures that were pre-painted and country-specific ships. If you think about it, you can look at each of the different countries, and they're different missionaries, they're warriors, they're smart dudes. They all dressed differently. They had different looks about them. And I think you could actually make that really come alive, because one of the problems, as you mentioned before, was that all the figures kind of looked the same.
Right.
And he said have them painted. I say brand new molds for some of the, the ones that are there. I think probably could be used as I think most of the warriors, if memory serves me correct, they had more of a Spanish look.
Yeah, I think it looks
them.
like a Spanish.
So they've already got theirs. So now you have to come out with English miniatures.
So you're saying basically
miniatures.
have Matago make this game.
Sure.
If you notice, I don't think there's a single game in any of our list that Matago, because their games were already at the top. And then for their games like Kemet and Cyclades and all those, each different color, the models are different.
Right.
And that's what you're saying you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, have English looking models for the guy who plays England, and he has now. I guess there would be a little bit more restriction on what color you could take.
No, but it already is that way if you're going to pick the country.
Right. You would actually just be able to pick the country, and then that would be the miniatures, and of course they all have to be pre-painted professionally. I mean, that's
professionally.
So
not by
me, basically.
Not by the 9-year-old in China, by a guy that knows what he's doing.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Number 2.
My number 2 has been mentioned also by Monsieur Vasel, and that is Steam Park.
I thought you might put that on your list.
Yeah, baby. It almost made my number 1, too. Steam Park, great game. Looks cool already with that 3D effect, but man, this game is begging for a deluxe version.
Yeah, it really is.
Plastic rides. just trick it all out. I mean, that game would look amazing with really well-painted 3D rides, and you will start to truly look like you're building a park in front of you.
You know what else they should change? The dice, the different things should have different colors. The different sides having different colors.
Bigger dice for sure, bigger dice, because they are tiny little dice.
Right.
And then, symbol and colors. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this game needs one. Needs one. Mm-hmm. Steam Park, my number 2.
All right.
All right, my number 2. Colby, you got to make this happen, brother.
Well, there's only like 3 games.
Summoner Wars. Let's turn this Summoner Wars into a card-driven miniatures game. You play it the same way.
You're just saying like when you play the card, you reach into a bag and pull a miniature
Exactly.
out?
You pull out a miniature and there's your miniature. The walls could actually be real walls. I mean, not real walls, of course, but miniature walls. Mm-hmm. And, of course, every faction has their own kind of wall, has their own kind of look. The vine walls will actually look like a hedge, hedges and that type of stuff.
Mowing the board game.
There is such a thing.
Really?
So
let's see, what else?
This is high because of Pipe Dream, right?
Yeah, this is Pipe Dream.
Because there's only 16 factions with like
that's
10 models each.
That's what I'm talking about. What I am, if Colby, if you ever think down this way, you'd probably have to start with another master set to where you have 4, maybe 6 factions, and that's what you get, and then the rest of them can be expansions later on if it catches on. But yeah, this is a pipe dream for me, really.
Cool.
All right. My number 2 is an older game Spiel des Jahres winner, and that's Zularetto. I like Zularetto. Has a lot of cool pieces.
Yeah.
Looks good, but man, they could have really buffed that out. You pull the... I don't know. There's just different ways. I think that the trucks in the middle, instead of being a wood tile with 3 spots to put... I mean, it's a wood thing. It could be a truck, Yeah. I don't know what they could do to the tiles. I was going to say I have miniatures, but...
they're animals, yeah.
Well, but you're pulling them from a bag,
a bag. Pretty sure I can tell the difference between, like, the elephant and the snake. There's no snake, but, you can tell the difference.
But the 7 blind men all felt the elephant and got different animals.
Different game.
The trucks come with randomized holograms. You just press a button.
No, but I'm
This is the hologram episode for Sam. What is going on?
Bonk!
I'm being serious though. Like, I think the coins could be changed to little metal coins. I think the trucks could be made nicer. I think that they could make the boards, maybe even put like 3-dimensional rising between the different sections, and have when you put the board in, it snaps in place. That extra board you buy.
Piece. Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it'd be a cool thing to do.
That was on my short list for sure. It would have been my 12 or 13.
Throw in like 10 of the mini expansions. There's so many little mini expansions. Yeah. Just throw in 10 of those in the box,
into the next one. Yeah, that's a
good idea.
Sweet.
So, that is my number 2, Zularetto.
And finally, number 1.
And time for the roll-off!
The die. That's not even fair.
I got a 5.
That's not even fair. Got a possibility of getting an 8.
Alright, fine. Regular die. Another 5.
4.
I have been punished for my
3.
cheating! With a 1.
Okay, what we doing?
Alright, I'll let you go last, Sam, and then I'll go second, and you can go last.
Okay, here we go. Number 1. Number 1. Now this is my extreme pipe dream. But boy, it would be cool if this could actually happen. Coliseum.
See, I thought Coliseum, but I thought, how could it get better?
Miniatures
Holograms, haven't you been paying attention?
No, miniatures instead of tiles, man. Instead of a picture of a horse on a tile, you actually have a horse sitting there.
How about a real horse?
If you have
if we're talking pipe dream,
that's too bad. That'd be out in the backyard somewhere. Instead of the picture of a pillar, you actually have a pillar that you would take and put in front of you.
A real Roman. Pull from a bag, though.
Okay, so you have
we're back to
some other kind of randomizer. Maybe you keep the tiles. And the tiles are what you pull out, and they're replaced.
You put this thing out there.
They're replaced by that.
That's fiddly.
That's fiddly. Okay, shut up.
The little guys.
I'm talking
like really cool
champion figures with banners. When you have the most warriors, or you have the most horses or whatever, there's a little banner with a flag, kind of like what I was thinking of is in Warhammer 40K, some of those guys, the standard bearers, they actually have a pole that's really tall and actually have a bit. That's what I was thinking. Anyway, for your champion figures, human-like minis instead of the stupid little portables for the for the Caesar and the and the governors. actual human.
So they look like pawns.
It looks like Caesar. It looks like so they don't look like pawns. I don't know. I just think Colosseum's a really cool game.
It looks good, but
beautiful game anyway. But we're talking about going over the top.
You guys were giving me trash for Cleopatra. Are you kidding?
I'm not agreeing with it.
I think actually Cleopatra's on a higher level than the current Colosseum right now. Because it does really already have really nicely sculpted models and stuff like that.
You're going to say this, someone's going to be like, oh, wow, the deluxe version, and they've never seen Colosseum. They're going to get like, Sam was right, they did make a deluxe version. Because that's what the regular version looks like.
Those games look good, yeah.
Alright, what's your number one?
Alright, my number one is a game that not only needs a good deluxe version, but just needs to get reprinted. We mention it often, Mission Red Planet. Mission Red Planet.
But this one is happening. Not deluxe, though.
The reprint.
Deluxe, baby. Bring on the deluxe. A great board. Bigger board than we have now with great detail. Instead of the little itty-bitty discs for each player, give everybody miniatures like little astronauts, cosmonauts,
Yeah.
Make the rockets cooler, have spots for the guys to sit in the rocket, like on a little ramp, I mean, trick it out. That'd be a cool deluxe version. And the game is a great game, or the deluxe, the version we have. The new one, I don't know what that's going to look like, but the game is great, but the version is not the best. The cards are a little flimsy. That part of it could also be souped up. Put some great looking cards in there, good quality. Man, I'd be drooling all over this thing.
Yeah, it would be cool.
So, my number one, Mission Red Planet. Bring it on.
Good idea.
You, sir.
My number one is not going to be reprinted in the deluxe version because of Hasbro again, but it's another one in that same series, and it's Robo Rally. I really think a Robo Rally game that had actual conveyor belts that moved a little bit. They wouldn't move, but they'd be on the board.
Fiber optics.
No, not fiber optics, but just have like a three-dimensional board. That's basically what I'm saying, a three-dimensional board, and where like the holes in the board are actually holes. And where there's a thing that rotates the robot around, that's actually in the board, and you can spin it a little bit to rotate the robot.
I think that'd be cool if you could actually program your robot with a radio frequency.
Well, that actually has been done.
That'd be cool. Now we're talking like your robots will actually move.
I can't believe you guys are coming up with this stuff and you're giving me grief about
No. I'm not. No, listen.
Oh my word.
No.
You're talking about a game board that actually has conveyor belts on it?
No, listen. I'm talking about little conveyor belts that you can like do a little crank and move.
You can technically do that.
Yeah, that would be hard. Come on.
What I'm saying is a little bit more far-fetched, but it could be done.
He's being ridiculous. I'm saying like a little conveyor belt, you move it and it moves a little robot. It's one. That would be a cool deluxe version. You just hate Robo Rally.
No, I'm not even touching my like or dislike of it. I'm just talking about the far-fetchedness of it.
And they should have really cool, colored, painted robots, and a way to and really there needs to be a cool way to program the cards too. I mean, I did see a large version of Robo Rally one time, at Gen Con I do every year, where they have people put cards in and these Lego robots move around because this machine reads them. But it'd be cool to have like a little machine that you could put the cards in and it would just move the robots for you. But that's being ridiculous, and I'm not asking for that.
I am. Bring it on.
Anyway, it's my number one, Robo Rally. Now, of all the games we talked about, one of them is actually happening. No, I'm just kidding. But that would have been funny to have people like go back and...
Rumors!
Maybe one of them is happening that we don't know about it. Because the reason this came to my mind was because when I heard about Tokaido getting a deluxe version, I thought, who was like looking for that? So I thought it would be interesting for us to talk about.
What are they even going to do? Right, because that game is largely card-based. I mean, there's not even, what do you soup up?
But, so you soup up stuff, and even Takenoko, as much as I love it, it was never a game that I thought, oh, they should make it giant.
This panda needs to be considerably bigger.
So these are our favorites. In the comment section, tell us what games you would like to see a deluxe version of. And tell us, maybe you agree with us. Maybe you're the company owner of one of these companies and you say, thanks for the idea, we're going to do it.
I'll wait for my copy.
That's right. If you pick one of ours, we have to get it. Anyhow, no, that's a lot of fun. So I hope this hasn't been a very, what's the word, beneficial list.
Informational list.
Right, it's more of a dream type thing. But anyway, hopefully the comments are interesting and you guys can come up with some good ideas also.
Yeah, that'd be cool to read.
Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Zee Garcia. Have a good one.
And I'm Sam Healey. See you then.
And you've been watching The Dice Tower.